Hey, welcome back. Today we're engaging the entire drum set with the 4/4 rock rhythm. Stick around, this is Rhythm Section. Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're talking about the 4/4 rock rhythm. We'll be engaging the entire drum set, and we'll be talking about a few pieces of flair that we can add. We'll also be playing along with some music. Let's get started. Today I'll be using multiple parts of the drum set. However, I could also use a single pad at home simply by placing my hands accordingly. I could also use multiple pads or a combination of pads and school textbooks. Regardless of whether you are right or left-handed, you can set up your drum set however you wish. It is your choice. For today, I'll be showing a very standard configuration. I am right-handed, and a left-handed configuration would simply be the opposite. The 4/4 rock rhythm is common in so much music, even music that is not rock. What I'd like to do is demonstrate it and then show you the parts. Here's the 4/4 rock rhythm. My dominant hand, which for me is my right hand, will come across the body and prepare over the hi-hat. My left hand prepares over the snare. My left foot is closing the hi-hat so that when I strike it, it makes this closed hi-hat sound. The right hand on the hi-hat is playing eighth notes. They count as follows: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The bass drum is falling on the 1 and 3 count. Let's look at that 1 and 3 bass. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the snare is going to fall on the 2 and the 4 counts. Here's the whole thing counted out: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That is the 4/4 rock rhythm. If I played only the bass and snare, the rock 4/4 would sound like this. As you play this, you'll notice a pattern. Your foot kicks at the same time as a hi-hat strike, and your snare strike comes at the same time as a hi-hat strike. But there are also eighth notes in between where it is the hi-hat alone. I'm generating as much power as I can with my fingers, and I'm keeping my elbows relaxed. And if I need to break it down and simplify, I can. Let's try it with just the bass in 4, 3, 2, and 1. 3, 1, 3. I'm going to add the hi-hat. Okay, I'm feeling pretty comfortable now. Maybe I need to break it down differently and play just the snare and the hi-hat. Eventually, I want to get to a point where I'm playing it all together. 4/4 rock, taking it slow. Starting with the bass and the hi-hat striking together on the 1 count. Here we go in 4, 3, 2, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and bass, and snare, and bass, and snare, and bass, and snare. Practicing the 4/4 rock rhythm along with a metronome is a great way to get tight. However, since so much music is written in the 4/4 time signature, you can also put on some of your favorite tunes and play along. The music you choose may not use the exact rock rhythm we looked at today, but this rhythm will fit any song in 4/4, and you can play along to practice. I'm going to demonstrate today with a track from Drumless Backing Tracks. A link to their YouTube channel is below. This YouTube channel has a library of drumless tracks of different genres that you can put on and play along with to practice. Let's hear the 4/4 rhythm with a little music. Let's count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. We've talked about the 4/4 rock pattern. Now let's add a little flair to our playing. We have these cymbals, one of which is the crash cymbal, which when paired with the bass drum can be a great accent for your playing. In addition to the crash cymbal, our hi-hat can be utilized. By raising the hi-hat pedal, I'm able to create a slightly different sound just as my stick is striking the hi-hat or leaving the hi-hat after striking it in the 4/4 rhythm. It sounds like this. Another way to add dynamic to your playing is to change the level at which your hi-hat is closed or open. I was using a tight hi-hat for most of this example, but I could also open that hi-hat gradually as I play for a dynamic shift. And close it back up. You may have noticed an extra bass kick or two in that last rhythm. Adding an additional bass or snare strike to the 4/4 pattern is a great way to begin modifying the 4/4 rock rhythm. Just as we can add additional bass strikes, we can also add additional snare strikes. Quarter and eighth notes are still the beats we're dealing in, so they can fall in a lot of different places. Another great way to add flair is to rest. Simply not play some notes in the 4/4. To accent your rests, or to come back in after a rest, many times a flam will be useful. A flam is when you strike a single drum of the drum set with both sticks. They fall at almost the same time, but not quite. One stick falls just before the other in order to give it a slight dynamic. The flam sounds like this. You can practice the flam using the strike drill from our first video. What I'd like to do is give you a quick model of the 4/4 pattern with all of those flair elements incorporated and identified. Check this out, see what speaks to you, and then practice on your own. Here we go. That does it for today. Get out there and practice that 4/4 time signature. There are resources below. Tune into our next video. We'll be talking about fills and the 40 essential drum rudiments. Until then, keep your beats tight and those fills clean. See you next time.